Hello and welcome. I got a haircut. If you're new to my channel, my name is Melissa and this is Uncensored Intuition. We do tarot readings, pick a card readings, talk about crystals, and witchy unboxing videos. So if that sounds like something you're into, make sure you hit subscribe, check out the other videos maybe first if you're not sure. So I encourage you to be well informed before you subscribe to my channel. All right, so this video is going to be a collective message for the full moon on June 24th, my birthday. And so I thought I would get a message for everyone instead of doing a pick a card. Normally I would do like a full moon pick a card, but I'm really getting the sense that like there's some unity and some big like collective consciousness type stuff going on, and that I feel like this can help. Okay, I'm like getting, this can raise the vibration. This can raise the collective vibration. Thank you. So, that's what we're going to do. Yeah. So we're going to do a collective message. And I think at the end, I might like do like a pick one card kind of thing. We'll see how it goes though. Let's see how this collective message goes. All right. What does the collective need to know about the full moon in Capricorn on June 24th, my birthday? It apparently is a supermoon. It's like the first full moon following both a solar and lunar eclipse. That doesn't sound correct. It's the full moon following that lunar eclipse though, for sure. All right. Or it's solar. Gosh, I'm mixing them all up. There have been so many. I'm mixing them all up. All right. What do we have here? I don't have a set spread. I'm just going to pull a message. All right. 3 cards first. Well, okay then. All right, so first card comes out is the 7 of Wands. The Page of Pentacles is next, followed by the Death card. So I feel like, yeah, there's definitely a rebirth going on here. The 7 of Wands kind of, being a little on the defensive side. Like I feel like we've been playing defense. And so like the Page of Pentacles is Pentacles being Earth, and the Page being like kind of new or learning. I really kind of feel like this takes a like there's a shift happening here, especially with the Death card. That's about transition. And yeah, so I feel like we've been playing defense, and I feel like maybe we're gonna start learning some offensive tactics, or maybe switch gears to, like the playing defense hasn't worked this whole time. Let's try something new. And I feel like that's where we're getting this transition or this shift here. Yeah, but I feel like the full moon definitely it kind of brings us out, like we're looking at, okay, so I'm going to show you how I'm seeing it here. We're like looking at this defensiveness and learning from it. I get like we're learning from it. We're learning from our past mistakes. Like if this was a past, present, future, past being the 7 of Wands, being, kind of on the defense, or, preparing to make a move, but not really doing a whole lot about it, but like just being on the ready. But we're like looking toward that to learn, or like we're gaining some knowledge there. We're gaining some tangible things that we can do from it. I dropped a card that popped out. Oh, here we go. The Queen of Pentacles, as well as the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, I feel like we're kind of we're learning to embrace that part of ourselves, that grounded, structured part of ourselves, like building a new structure. Also, I want to point out in this deck, okay, so I know this isn't a new deck, but it's new to me. I've been seeing it for years, and like I always end up getting like the indie decks or the Kickstarter decks just because I like supporting them, and also like I like having more of like a rare collection of decks. We're gonna go with collection at this point. Oh. And so I was going through this deck, and like this deck is, I know like almost everybody and their mother has it, but all of the queens in this deck, look at the crown. They all have this like spiky crown, like protecting that chakra, protecting your energy. I feel like that the queen energy from this deck that I get is very much protecting your energy, being aware of what's coming in, because that is really shielding and like putting like, it's almost like having horns, you know, like where it's like, if anything comes in there, it's gonna pop, and you know, you're only allowing things that serve you in. So I feel like that's kind of an energy that we're adopting here. Another page popped out of the deck. So yeah, learning. And these two actually are facing the same direction. Like we're moving forward here. We're learning how to embrace our creativity and start to kind of create a whole new world here with this Page of Rods. Like look at the way he's looking at it. Like he's just like contemplating, what can I do with this? What can I whittle out of this? It was seemingly plain stick. Like what can I make out of it? Like like it's the beginning stages of creative creation. Right? So it's like starting to take a look at what we can pull out of what we have already seen. So I'm gonna go ahead and get one more card for this, about the full moon, just to kind of wrap it up. Yeah, this is the last day of Mercury retrograde, and I feel like he's having fun with my speech right now. One final dig before we go direct, right? That might have already happened, but still there's a shadow period. Anyway, whole different video. All right, one more card to round it off. We have the Star. Yeah, so the Star falls right underneath that Death card. We have this Hope here, like one foot in and 1 foot out here. Like we're pouring into two different things here. So I feel like that could also represent a split. But again, like the overall meaning of the Star is hope. We have the Star here. Also that bird, I'm really drawn to the bird. It's a red bird, doesn't look like a cardinal, but if that means anything for anyone. But yeah, I feel like there's definitely a shift here right underneath the Death card. That's so weird. That's so funny, because the way they're set, these are on top of each other like this. Like she's protecting her crown from this guy up here. It's like, you know, protection, getting a lot of protection here. And then we have the pages right on top of each other here as well, followed by the Death card, covering the Star here. So definitely a shift for the better. There is hope for our future is kind of what I'm hearing. So now that we've got that out of the way, and this is seeming to be a pretty short video, let's go ahead and pull some cards for, you know, to pick from. I'm going to choose 3 cards. It's just going to be 1, 2, and 3, and I will let you pick a card. And that'll be like your card for the full moon, like what you can, I will let you choose whether it is, choose a card and then choose whether it is something to focus on for the full moon or what the full moon is bringing in for you. Because the full moon for me is about like the culmination of the cycle. It's the peak of the cycle where things are at their highest, energies are at their highest. And where your manifestations that you kind of intended at the beginning of the cycle, that's where they start to come popping up for you to, you know, to be ripe. They're ripened at that point. And then, you know, the second half of the phase is more about, you know, culling the land, clearing things out to plant new seeds. So I would like you to pick a card and then decide whether or not, before I show it to you, if it is something to focus on or something that's coming your way. All right, we're gonna call it that. 3 cards. All right. I'm gonna be able to see this when I flip it around, but you will not. This is card number 1. This is card number 2. And this is card number 3. Okay. I don't know if it inverts it, so I will point out this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Now that you have a card, maybe pause and take a breath. And then, is it something that is coming for you, coming toward you, or is it something that is for you to focus on? All right, I'm assuming you've paused the video, made your decision. Card number one, if you chose card number one, was the Four of Pentacles. So for you, if you chose this card, I would say be wise with your money. Don't hold on to things too tightly, though. So this could be if you chose for it to represent what to focus on, I would focus on not holding on too tightly to things. If it's what's coming for you, I feel like then that would mean you should be ready to not allow yourself to give too much. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to do with money for either of those circumstances. It could also be, belongings, your time, things like that, or it's also like earth, so plants, your what am I getting? I'm getting foundation. Okay, so it's a 4. But yeah, like your foundation, hold tight to your foundation, but also be careful of what you're holding on to, and use your discernment. I'm getting discernment for whether or not it's something you need to hold on to or let go of. All right, and if you chose the second card, we have the Lovers card. And if this was TikTok, I'm sure that this would not fly, but especially since there's kind of some nudity in these cards. But I have to point out in this card, and then there was another card, it was the Fool card, the sack that the Fool card has, the Fool on his back. Yeah, if you own this deck, look at that card, in case you haven't noticed it. But anyways, I'm just gonna hold it up like this and show you what I mean here. Okay, so there is some symbolism here that may only be brought forward for those with a mind that lives in the gutter half the time. So Lover's card. So if you chose this card and you chose for something coming toward you, okay, like a partnership here. Possibly, I'm not going to hold it up too much because I don't want it to get complaints, because that's possible. So if you chose it as what's coming toward you, love, partnership, a divine counterpart, not necessarily, but a fulfilling partnership. Doesn't necessarily have to do with romantic partner. This could be a friendship. This could be a business partnership, but it is something that I feel like is divinely guided for you. Now, if this is something that you should focus on, there are 2 people in this card. However, I always would recommend focusing on your own affection toward yourself, loving yourself. But I do feel like there is working on, focusing on a willingness to accept love as well from others, being that there are 2 people in this card. So I feel like that's the case if you're looking at what you should be focusing on, is maybe being open or receptive to how other people love you, and maybe be more aware that other people may show you affection in different ways, and just be open to seeing how people are showing affection, and maybe being just more mindful and aware that it comes in different forms. I like to tell my oldest, who is 21 now, like the be careful and stuff like that. That's a form of saying I love you, at least from me. That's sometimes you say I love you so much that it kind of falls on, it loses its meaning, so you start finding other ways to show. So I feel like that could be the case there. All right, and if you chose card number 3, we have the 5 of Wands, which is conflict. This is just big conflict energy. I feel like it could be regarding specifically creative. There's a lot of creative energy out there right now. So I feel like this could be a creative conflict in some way, shape, or form. So if you were choosing it as a focus card, I would say focus not necessarily on resolving the conflict. That's not what I'm getting from this. What I'm getting from this as a focus is see where conflict is in your life. Identify the conflict, not necessarily in a resolving state just yet. I feel like if it's just something for you to focus on, I feel like identifying conflict. And I feel like that goes into shadow work as well. for you, just noticing where the conflict is, because sometimes we just don't, we can get passive and we don't recognize conflict for what it is. And really it is opposing viewpoints that just need to be aired. So identifying conflict, I would say, is more suited for what's going on in the world right now, and the fact that it is in Capricorn. So I don't feel like we should rush into trying to resolve conflict without kind of hearing it out first. So I feel like it's identifying what the conflict is and where the conflicting ideas are coming from, because I feel like it is a kind of a creative conflict. So that if that's a focus, if that's what you chose to read the card as, I would say just focus on identifying conflicts, not necessarily resolving them yet, because if you try to resolve a conflict too early without knowing all of the details, you could end up making the conflict worse. So if you chose this card as a as what's coming toward you, I would take it as a little bit of a warning. There could be some clashing energies coming up. So just be aware and mindful. And, you know, again, with the identifying rather than solving, I feel like just be aware that it could potentially happen and be kind of more prepared for the possibility that that a conflict may arise. That doesn't necessarily mean that your whole summer is screwed or anything like that. It just means that, you know, you can be aware of things that are coming up and kind of plan ahead for how you would deal with conflict. Now, I'm not trying to give you anxiety or anything, because some of us, that's how our brain works, where we already are trying to figure out the solution to a problem that has not even happened yet and probably won't. And a lot of times, using the law of attraction, when you worry about things, you kind of bring them to you when they wouldn't necessarily have come to you to start, but once you start putting that energy out. So just, you know, have like a set couple of like canned reactions is what I want to say. That's kind of what I want to call it. Like have a canned reaction, have an elevator pitch, or, you know, whatever it is, for when a conflict may arise, and how you plan to kind of pause, reflect, whatever, before you engage in any conflict. So yeah, that's what I have for you. Collective message, quick little pick a single card reading here for the full moon. I want to thank you so much for watching. If this resonated, please let me know in the comments. And if you're into this stuff, as well as crystals and witchy subscription boxes, don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Happy full moon and happy birthday to me. And thank you so much, and have a blessed day.